it's Zadie and welcome to my channel, Flytte Kartina. Right now I'll be talking about a movie called Crazy Rich Asians, which released last week on Wednesday, I believe, for at least my area. There will be no spoiler in for this because there's really nothing to spoil, but there will be a segment at the end where I talk about what I thought about the movie. But for now, we're gonna go over the rating of the film, why it was rated that way, and then I'll rate it on my own rating system. Crazy Rich Asians, directed by John Chu, was rated PG-13 by the MPAA for some suggestive content and language. We're gonna break that statement down into two separate smaller statements. First, there is the some suggestive content part of the rating. Obviously, judging by the trailer, you can see that there's some suggestive content in the movie itself. And there are some scenes that are not meant for the young minds of the family. There's a bedroom scene that doesn't go past the PG-13 barrier. There's one shower scene that's about a minute and a half long. I don't need to elaborate because honestly it makes me uncomfortable. There's really nothing that goes too far, if you know what I'm saying. This is a love story, so there is kissing involved, and there is a kiss or 5. Moving on, the second part of the rating is based on language. I didn't hear anything super bad. That's a lie. I heard one F-bomb and a couple other phrases and also a couple of name-calling things.
But you can't swerve. You gonna roll up and be like, bok bok. Okay, maybe like not as aggressive.
But it wasn't horrible that I thought it should be on the R spectrum of things instead of the PG-13 side of things. As per the MPAA's vague rules, you can only be allowed one F-bomb in a PG-13 movie. In conclusion, I think this is a pretty solid PG-13 rating, which is kind of surprising given the fact that the MPAA has some pretty vague rules. Nothing more, nothing less. There wasn't really that much more to it than what I explained. The rating didn't get in the way of me watching the film, which is how I think ratings should go. Unless the rating is a warning for more sensitive people, then it's fine. I should stop talking and move on. Okay, let's pull up the frequency chart and rate this film on a scale of 1 to 10 on how frequent these elements were. I'd say this was about a 5. Like I said, nothing more, nothing less to the PG-13 rating. Pretty average. They rated anything else, I'd be a little bit miffed. But I think this is a pretty obvious PG-13 film, and it's not like PG-13 like Guardians of the Galaxy 2, where you're just like, that is stepping on the R side of things, but you know, it's more like a solid PG-13 rate. Lastly, at least for this part of the video, I'll pull out my magical scale of movies, where I rate this movie on a scale of Steamboat Willie to Deadpool on how appropriate this movie is for younger audiences. Translation: should a kid be watching this as demonstrated by me and my fun posters? I'll rate Crazy Rich Asians on the scale as The Help, because the content and frequency is similar in both of these films. If you know how The Help was rated, then you'll know what you're getting into when you buy that crazy expensive movie ticket. Now that we've got the logical stuff out of the way, let's move on to what I thought of the movie. This video is completely non-spoiler, so I won't say anything that'll ruin the film for you when you go and watch it in the next few days, hopefully. You can tell that I really recommend this movie, especially for people who are Asian, because they can really relate to it. This film really struck a chord with me personally. If Black Panther and Crazy Rich Asians were in the same genre of film, then I think that they would be pretty equal. Here's my thought. Black Panther is a superhero action film which is really deep and rich in the African culture, and it also makes some really good political points along the way. Crazy Rich Asians is a romantic comedy which is really deep in the Chinese Asian culture and makes some really good relational points along the way. Let me break it down for you even more. African culture is all about respect and pride for your people, and they've got a history of oppression that no one else has. Black Panther took that history and infused it into the film in a way that was thought-provoking and entertaining at the same time. On the other hand, Chinese culture is about respect as well, but it's also about tradition. It's about taking care of your parents when they're older and about passing down all these traditions that have been in your family for generations. Your family is your everything. That was the point that Crazy Rich Asians was making. It's hard to choose between your family who you've known your whole life and who have taken care of you and nurtured you and grown you, and also something that your family may not approve of. I really enjoyed it as something to be entertained by and also have some cultural weight to it. Seeing everything in Singapore was amazing, just awesome. As you could tell by the trailer, there are some amazing places that they were going to, and they're just spectacular. They look straight out of a postcard. Just the architecture and all the colors and like the characters and the traditions that you see, but also there's this one scene that I won't spoil it for you guys, but there's this one scene that makes you want to be there with the actors in that environment. When you see the scene, I hope you'll kind of, you know, understand it. There are about 3 or 4 different subplots that were happening way beneath the overarching plot of, you know, the love story between these two people. And I think that John Chu orchestrated it all perfectly. Because that's how Asian families work. There's not just one drama happening within the family, there's like 4 or 5 happening at the same time, and it's up to you guys to, you know, resolve those differences or resolve the arguments and just, you know, come together as a family. It's up to the family to either resolve those arguments or break them apart. You just solve it as a family together. That's all I have to say about Crazy Rich Asians for now. Question of the week is, what movie should I see next? Because honestly, I don't know what I'm gonna see next. Leave your suggestions in the comments down below while you're scrolling. There's a big red button and some other buttons smaller attached to it. Those aren't scary at all. You should press all of them. Thanks for watching. We have a great random Thursday. I will see you on the other side of the screen. Bye!